Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you today. I'm driving home from my ride to work. Had a comment on my video that I made yesterday on my way home that I forgot to post until late last night. I'm talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens at Wrestlemania 38. Somebody said, hey, will you talk about the Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon match that's supposed to happen at Wrestlemania 38? This, to me, is wild. This is crazy time. I think that talking about WrestleMania 38, having a Stone Cold Steve Austin match, that's crazy enough. But now here we are talking about Vince McMahon coming back for a match. The last match that I can remember Vince being in was the match here in Sacramento. The night I think they were going up against the World Series, and it was in October. It was a weird time. CM Punk versus John Cena was supposed to headline the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that was coming up, but they ended up having to replace John Cena because I think he had an elbow injury. They were in the means of switching it to Punk versus Ryback, but for that night they had a main event of Vince versus CM Punk, having a no DQ match with them going out there and basically beating the hell out of each other with kendo sticks. Wild times. Other than that, the last match I can remember was WrestleMania 27 against Bret Hart, where he just got the crap kicked out of him by the Hart family. That was basically a no DQ match as well, where just everybody just took turns beating him from pillar to post. Tyson Kidd coming off the top rope onto him. But I don't know, man. This to me is just a wild story. Vince McMahon being in a match at the age he's in. I don't know really what age he is, but every day I look at Vince, he looks older. It's wild times. I know he doesn't love being on camera. It kind of says that, I think WWE is in a state of just trying anything to get viewers. They have the numbers game on AEW, but anybody who watches wrestling continuously feels it's slipping. Maybe they have like the diehards of diehards, but just AEW is just doing something different that just is getting the people to watch it and think that they're putting on a better show. The interview with Vince on the Pat McAfee show is tomorrow. To me, if Pat McAfee's going to have a match at WrestleMania, the only thing I can think of that's a negative about that is that I would guess Pat McAfee is not going to be doing commentary unless maybe he only does one night of it. I wouldn't think they would have him at the desk and then all of a sudden he just pops up, has a match, and then comes back. I mean, with I think if you go back to WrestleMania 27, no, shoot, I think I said the Bret Vince match was the 27. That was at 26. You go back to Jerry Lawler having a match at 27 against Michael Cole. I don't think either one of them was on the announce table that night. That's just me, but then again, I was there, and I don't know if I've ever watched that WrestleMania back other than the Undertaker versus Triple H match, and I'm pretty sure that Jim Ross was on commentary for that match, and I don't really remember who was there with him. Now, the one thing I can think of to sort of put a Band-Aid on this is why this is happening is I would guess maybe this was Shane McMahon's match. Shane was probably going to go on the Pat McAfee show, set something up a lot like the Adam Cole match where they had the little push and shove inside of the studio. And then that just ran wild. Was it scripted? Was it not scripted? McAfee at that time was the announcer for NXT, I believe, and he had never done anything physical. It was weird if you go back and remember the night that NXT took over Monday Night Raw. McAfee got into the ring with the wrestlers, and I think a lot of people wonder why he was in there. I think he even said that nobody really told him to get in there, but he just felt like it was the right thing to do. And I don't think anybody at that time knew that he was ever going to wrestle. I think everybody thought he was just a big fan, and that was it. But then he would go on to have the match with Adam Cole, be in the War Games match against the Undisputed Era, and I think he really blew it out of the water with both of those matches. I don't think anybody's wanting to see him as a full-time competitor. They think he's a better announcer, but I don't think you can really throw rocks or throw stones at what he's done for NXT. Now putting him on the big stage against Vince McMahon, I don't know that McAfee's going to be able to hold a match with Vince, and I don't know that Vince is going to be able to keep a match together for Pat McAfee. So I think that honestly, there's a good chance of this going off the rails, a lot like the Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole match. But then again, maybe that's just what they're looking for. They've got their Edge versus AJ Styles match. It looks like they've got a Stone Cold Steve Austin match. They don't really need that big exclamation point of a wrestling match. They might just need filler with some star power to just get them through the 3 to 4 hour show that they're going to do that night. So I guess you set this up of maybe Pat McAfee just interviewing Vince McMahon tomorrow, and then all of a sudden McAfee maybe I think he'll ask him a question that Vince will take wrong. Like maybe if he just says like, how do you still get up and get ready to go every day at your age? And then all of a sudden Vince gets all pumped up like, my age? What's that mean? I'm not that old. I can whoop your ass. And that turns into like a kind of like a McAfee trying to calm it down, Vince just pushing it farther and farther. That's my guess, and I guess that means that McAfee shows up at Monday Night Raw. Maybe the Raw carries that storyline, or because I don't really see if they play it off on SmackDown. Vince getting in the ring and then calling out the announcer, at the desk. That to me doesn't really make sense with McAfee, having to get up off the table and get into the ring. Unless maybe they just have McAfee like in the ring, like he's gonna interview Vince, like he's calling him into the ring to physically apologize to him to like try and calm down the situation, and Vince pushes it farther over that. But I mean, that's the only real storyline I can see to really put this thing together. I don't think anything's wrong with this match. I just don't really believe that this is going to happen. But then again, the other match that a lot of people are talking about, Stone Cold Steve Austin, I wouldn't believe that match is going to happen either. So we'll have to see what's going down. Peace out, guys. See y'all down the road.